Russian woman CEO ignored at hotel gets water from janitor's daughter, and fate changes forever. Natalia Ivanova had built an empire from the ground up. As the CEO of one of Russia's fastest-growing tech companies, she was used to luxury, respect, and being the most powerful person in the room. But none of that mattered when she walked into a small hotel in the middle of nowhere in rural Pennsylvania. She had arrived late, her connecting flight was cancelled due to storms, and her driver had mistakenly taken a wrong turn. Dressed in a modest travel coat, with no assistant or entourage, Natalia looked more like a tired traveler than a billionaire. When she approached the front desk of the aging hotel, the receptionist barely glanced up. "We're fully booked," the woman said curtly, not even bothering to check her computer. Natalia tried to explain her situation. "I had a reservation. I've come a long way. Please just check my name, Natalia Ivanova." The receptionist sighed, clearly irritated. "I told you, we're full. You can try somewhere else. Good luck." No one recognized her. No one cared. And for the first time in years, Natalia felt small. Alone. She stepped aside and sat down in the dimly lit lobby, unsure of what to do next. Her phone had no service. It was already midnight, and the storm outside had turned the roads to rivers. As she sat there, trying to compose herself, she noticed a little girl, maybe 8 or 9, dragging a mop bucket across the floor. The child was humming to herself as she worked, clearly used to the late hours. Her tiny frame looked so out of place in this world of adults. The girl stopped when she saw Natalia. "You okay, lady?" she asked with wide, honest eyes. Natalia smiled weakly. "Just tired. And a bit thirsty." The girl nodded seriously. "Wait here." A few minutes later, she returned, holding a small plastic cup filled with water and a slightly crumpled granola bar. "It's not much," she said shyly, "but you can have this. My mom says being kind is free." Natalia took the offering, stunned. "Thank you. What's your name?" "Lena. My mom works here. She's the janitor. Sometimes I help her after school when we can't find a babysitter." Natalia's throat tightened as she looked at the little girl's dirt-smudged face and bright smile. There was no trace of pity or judgment, just warmth, and simple, human kindness. Something about Lena reminded Natalia of herself as a child, hungry, unnoticed, yet full of dreams. Before she could say more, Lena's mother appeared from a nearby hallway, clearly flustered. "Lena. I told you to stay near the office." "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am, I hope she didn't bother you." "She didn't," Natalia replied gently. "She helped me more than anyone tonight." The woman looked embarrassed. "We're sorry. We don't have extra rooms, but if you need a place to rest for an hour or two, we have a small cleaning lounge in the back. It's not much, but it's warm and dry." Natalia hesitated. "I'd appreciate that." That night, Natalia lay on a lumpy couch in the janitor's break room, covered with a folded blanket Lena had fetched. The CEO who had dined with presidents and negotiated billion-dollar deals was now sleeping beside industrial mops and cleaning supplies. And yet, she felt strangely at peace. The next morning, Natalia quietly slipped out, but not before leaving a handwritten note and her business card with the janitor. The note read, "Thank you for reminding me what humanity looks like. I'd like to repay your kindness, please call me when you have a moment." Weeks passed. Then months. Natalia returned to Russia and resumed her high-profile life. But she never forgot Lena's smile or the warmth in that cleaning room. Then, one day, Natalia received a message from the janitor. Her name was Rosa. She apologized for taking so long to reach out, explaining that she had been afraid to call, thinking it was a joke or a mistake. "I meant what I said," Natalia replied. She invited Rosa and Lena to visit Moscow, all expenses paid. Rosa refused at first, not wanting charity. So instead, Natalia arranged something else, a fully funded scholarship for Lena, beginning with a local private school in the US, then extending all the way to university. Years later, at a prestigious international tech summit in New York, a confident young woman stepped up to the podium. She introduced herself as Elena Morales, a rising AI researcher and the youngest keynote speaker ever invited to the conference. "I'm here because someone saw me, not for what I lacked, but for what I could become," she told the audience. "Kindness changed my life." Natalia, now retired and sitting in the front row, wiped a tear from her eye. A single act of compassion, offered by a child who had nothing, had rippled through the world and changed the course of 2 lives forever. Because sometimes, the greatest power isn't in titles or money, but in the heart of a little girl who gives her water to a stranger.